We've been dealing with the dairy issues for many, many years before the new owners came into play in 2012. We're concerned right now about the wastewater that's coming into the stream, but they have not come to us and tell us what the solutions were or what they were going to do to make sure that it wouldn't come down into the stream. So we had a great meeting with the governor. It was like about 2 to 2.5 hours. I actually had to call the meeting to a close because he was so engaged. Because I walked him through the slideshow and I said, Ookala community concerns is protecting the health and safety of our people, protecting our drinking water, protecting our streams and oceans. I showed him the wastewater runoff that one of our residents took in September of 2016, showing the water running off from the dairy property. So we followed it up to the dairy property, and this is a stream it was going into, and it was leaking. Then the person went up onto the property to look down to where the leak was coming, saw where it was coming on the property, and then faced up and got where it looks like a man-made ditch was dug there. Then this was on January 29th at 3:39 in the afternoon. It's not raining.
That's pretty gross. It does not look like stream water.
The other streams were dry. And this stream is a stream that runs in the middle of our camps, and this in Kukui village. Now, we had a meeting on March 14th. On March 15th, they started irrigating at 13-mile-per-hour winds. You can check that on the weather. And we checked the weather when that was going because we thought, wow, some of this is all airborne, and this is wastewater. We don't know all the fecal bacteria that is getting airborne into the community that sits right just below it. And the winds blow towards the community. There is no windbreak. So this is concerning, very concerning for us. And especially is if the county put a order to stop any production on those lands, I don't know if this was in violation of it because of the date. Department of Health told us it was hard to determine if the wastewater was going into the ocean. So we had a couple of our residents follow the stream down, climb down a little bit onto the cliffs, and come and look where the water was going. And this water, you'll see, you can hear them talking in the background. And it's going down, and he said it's the same pond going into the ocean too, he says. And he's showing it how it gets down into the ocean. That's his shadow, he's filming it. And then the ocean is right below it. So, and you're gonna see a real clear, yeah. So he's showing how it ponds and it just kind of fills down into our beautiful ocean. There's the ocean. Then I showed the governor that these are the 2 effluent ponds in use that the dairy manager says the wastewater is entering the first pond and then it goes, they have a ditch dug. And in the reports, in the Department of Health reports, they'll acknowledge that too. There's a ditch that comes to fill this pond. Both ponds are full all the time. Now the ditch that is dug is not protected. It's just on the ground. They just dug it. Instead of piping it, they dig it, and it's on the ground flowing water with a lot of overgrowth on it. This pond has all overgrowth on it. That should definitely be cleaned. This is the pond that I talked earlier about that they said they did not know if this was lined or not. Okay, so then I showed the governor. This was taken the day of the meeting. I should put the date on here. It was March 28th. Had a helicopter ride, and the helicopter took us to the cliff line. Well, not took me. took Lanakila Manguawan up in a helicopter and shot this with Carol Cox. And they saw the stains all on the cliffside of whatever that is. I think it's because of a lot of manure, but again, that's my opinion. And until Department of Health gets on the cliff and starts testing that, then we can clearly determine. But it's very suspect, you know, of where it's coming from. This is a picture of turbid water that same day on March 28th, the Ookala coastline. If you look at it, look at that water. Then this was taken when I was on Oahu. A resident sent me this picture and said, I just took this picture by your house across the wooden bridge, and it's dry. This is all shadowed in because it's in the afternoon. It's about 3 something in the afternoon. This one was taken, I think it was taken at 3 something in the afternoon. Anyway, it's dry. However, in Kukui Village, just around the corner of that stream, it's flowing wastewater. Our hope is that we can get our streams and our ocean cleaned, and that we can have a good neighbor in the Big Island Dairy. I'm not against dairies, not at all. It's the right size, in the right place, with the right management and the right regulatory agencies that will help the community monitor to keep our community safe. We're not against dairies because back in the day, there was dairies throughout our community. Even during the sugar days, we had dairies in each of our communities, but they were the right size, in the right place, with the right families managing it. Yeah, and always knowing your ahupua'a system, that your kuleana is to take care of your land to make sure that you don't run off anything into your neighbors below you. And that neighbor has that same kuleana. Yeah, so my concern is people who are coming from the mainland to do large-scale agriculture and has no background of what they're coming into. And coming here to just, because I feel our zoning laws maybe are what the permits require at the state level or whatever is, I think it's real easy for them to come here and do business. And we just need to start holding people accountable. If we want to be sustainable, we want to be sustainable. Food sustainability, they talk about that all the time, you know. But how can we be sustainable if our waterways and our water resources are taken from us?